Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be sharing with you some age-defying concealer tricks. Now some of these I've mentioned in previous videos, a couple may be brand new, but we're going to put them all together with regards to age-defying. Whatever that means. I don't look a day over 12. Just saying. So, I'm going to point to the areas on the face and apply concealer to them where the tips and tricks and all that kind of thing is. I'm not blending it in. And the reason being is because I don't personally care, as in I'm not going to go out, I'm just going to wash it off. I just want to show you the placement areas of it so that then you can go and do it with your concealer and look fabulous. I don't care about looking fabulous because I was blessed with good genes. That's a lie. Okay, so I'm going to pick a concealer. I'm actually just going to use a foundation palette. This is RCMA, and I'm going to use Ivory because it's light enough that it's going to show up on my skin because I want to show you the areas. So let's talk age-defying tricks. Okay, so the first one, and I talked about this in a previous video on concealer. As we get older, this can flatten out. So you want to apply concealer here. So I'm actually going to show you where you apply it, but it's in my beard. I'm hoping you don't have that, because if you do, it's quite unfortunate. So you just want to pop it here and you blend it out with a finger or a sponge. This is so pretty on women. It just bounces out a little bit of light and looks really, really beautiful. Now here's another one. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm going in a circle or a half circle, right? Right here. And just fill in this bit here. That's where you want to apply concealer. It looks really like mad, but trust me, as we get older, this bit can kind of flatten. So this just brings it out and it just looks so beautiful. Again, you want to use a concealer that is, the color is, sorry about this, I've got something in my eye, that is appropriate for your skin tone. So pick a one shade lighter, something like that. So if you have a fold, so I have fold here, you want to apply it to the indentation. This can become quite awkward as to how how it kind of comes across. So if I do this, it's here that the concealer is placed, and then it's kind of blended in and it bounces out light from the fold or the shadow, so it can kind of, let me just draw it in here so you can kind of guess. But that's where it is. Now you can use a really light concealer here and then go over it with foundation to really make it pop, or you can just use one that's a shade lighter, pop it in and blend it out. A lot of finger work with this, more than a sponge. Okay, so right here, as I mentioned, this area just here can look so much better when it's a bit brighter. And also take it up, right the way up into this section here. So all the way up to the eyebrow. This bit can get dark and recessed as we get older, so this bit looks really, really good. Don't forget, if you've got discoloration on that outside lid here, conceal it and bring it up and out towards the eyebrow. This will give you the illusion of a more lifted, youthful eye, which is great. This is a really cool one and very few people speak about it. As you get older, the face can go in. Assuming you haven't gained a lot of weight, the face can go in. And it goes in right here. I'm going to do it on this side, right here at the temple area. If you apply concealer to this area here, so the indentation is almost always here, this can just bring out a bit of light, and it also lifts up and it creates a ledge. So if you're going to contour a cheekbone, you contour it here. So you've now put darkness here, and then you've got light here. So you've got this amazing area where you can put your blusher on your cheekbone. So that looks really cool, but this is a great way of lifting. Another really good way that I like to do, because I don't really like to use huge amounts of shimmer if I don't have to, right above the arch of the brow, right here, just a small amount of concealer, pat it in. It will just give the illusion that the eye is slightly more lifted. And I'm all about the precision of things. I like things, you should never ever, oh, this eye, honest to Betsy's. You should never ever see where your highlighter, when it's done with the concealer, or your contour starts and finishes. It should be so subtle that no one knows what's going on. So important. I know we see the lines never blended out now, but that's not how you do it. Okay, so the other one, right here, and no more. Do you see where I put that? Let's do it. I'm going to do it a bit fatter. Right here, and no more. Just this bit here can make a really big difference on certain nose types. Now, if you're confused about your nose types, just go into the search bar on my page and type in nose contour. There's 2 videos on different nose shapes, but just here. And remember this, because we all want to put that little bit of, you know, shite on the end of our nose, and it just bounces like that, and everyone's like, oh God, why it looks so good. Never, ever, ever somebody come up to me and said, Wayne, you see this bit here on my nose? I want it to look big. I want this bit here to look really big. No one's ever said that to me. Unless you've got a button nose, it's so hard to pull off unless you are so gentle and subtle with it. So bear that in mind, but totally up to you, totally up to you. We're going to go over the eye bag technique one more time. So let's pick this side, because this one's looking beautiful with a tilted down head. Right, that is a shadow. That is the eye bag here. Now, if I put a light concealer on this bit here, it's gonna come out at me, make the bag look worse. You want to highlight the shadow of the bag. That is here. You do not want to go onto the eye bag, because when you lift your face up and blend it in, the shadow that the bag creates is gone and it looks flat. It's a very simple technique, but one that's so hard to get right. You go on the shadow of the bag. You do not go up onto it ever. As we get older as well, anything can hollow out in the face. If you find that your face is starting to hollow out in certain areas, wherever it is, apply a lighter shade of concealer or foundation. Remember, light bounces out. So anything that's hollow, like we said here, will come out at us. So if there's another area that's hollow, use the concealer to pop it out. And finally, and this is a really good one. You need a very light concealer for this, and it works best when done under foundation. So I'm going to use this one here, which is called POR. I don't even know is that even a shade? Porcelain. Anyway, you do it underneath your foundation. You apply foundation, and where you want there to be light, a bounce of light, you touch it here. So say here's where we want it, and we're going to put a bit of blusher. Just tap it on like this, tap it on, then bounce your foundation over it. This area will be blended in, but it will look slightly more light, and it looks beautiful. Don't be mental and go like this, okay? Because no one's falling for that shit, okay? Just a little bit somewhere looks beautiful. Another really nice way to do it, whether you're doing it with a concealer or a little bit of highlighter, is to pick an area on your face, something that's not quite central. Okay, so let's just say all your makeup's done. You're just going to pop, say, a touch of highlighter right there for no apparent reason. And as you turn, you just get this slight reflection going on. And I quite like to do it like there. Bizarrely enough, you just get this slight light, and it's just slightly, just catches your eye, and it just looks a little bit delicious and a little bit beautiful. And who doesn't want to look like that? You know, I do. I mean, well, I do actually. I do. I'm not right this minute perhaps, but I do. And there you go. So there you go, that's the tips. That's the age-defying concealer tips. Blend them in, don't leave them like this, because then you're going to look mental, and that's not a good look. I don't believe it is. But let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear it. All the information down there in the description bar. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, okay, so we're at the end of a video, and that means the ramblings of somebody that is mental. That's me. Okay, so I was going to speak about this, but I've left it for quite a while. It's been about a month now since the original comment happened, and I wanted to speak about it because it's interesting and it's honest, And I think a lot of people can think that way about subjects to do with YouTube and money and all that kind of stuff. So there's that fly. I don't know how long they live, but they live a long time. So I did a video on a concealer, and it was the Born This Way concealer, and I said it was very good. And what happened with that, I'll be honest with you, but so I bought 6 concealers, and then Too Faced sent me their entire set, but they sent that after I'd filmed the video. I had already bought those concealers, so I had bought them and they were mine. I was incredibly pleased when I got that huge set because they sent that before my review. So it was just like, yay me. That's how I felt. But I bought the concealers. So I was doing the video and I had them for a few days. So I bought them and I was showing them to you. And a lady left a comment, and she's always left really nice comments before because I went through them and they were just always so kind and so nice. And then she left a comment on this video. Now, I can't remember it word for word, but I'll give you the gist of the comment. It was basically, you should be ashamed of yourself wasting money on makeup when you said you were going to buy your mum a house and you haven't. And then she put like snail emojis and all of that kind of stuff. And the comment really, really hurt my feelings. And I get a lot of comments every day, right? I get the death threat ones occasionally. I get the homophobic ones daily. I get the other just generally abusive miseries of being on YouTube comments. So I've got relatively tough skin. But this comment was the most offensive that I had ever received. So I wanted to talk to you about it. So I did buy the concealers, and the reason I bought them is because I use them. I use concealer. This is my job. And it's great if lots of companies are giving you huge amounts of stuff so you no longer have to buy anything. That isn't the case for me, although PR is so much kinder generally, universally now for some reason, but I still buy my own products. And I do because that's my job. And this is a job in itself as well. And I think that there is this misconception that if you're on YouTube and you have a lot of subscribers, you have millions of subscribers, that you are part of the YouTube $1 Million Club. And if I say dollar, I'm always referring to myself in pounds, but it doesn't matter, it's still a million, however you want to see it. And people think that you are part of the $1 Million YouTube Club, that that's what you're earning because you have so many followers. Well, that is not the case. I'm not part of the $1 Million Club, or the $500,000 Club, or half that again, or half that again. In order to generate just from videos alone millions of dollars per year, you would need to be making videos that are generating 10 to 15 million views per video consistently, at least that, and that is a conservative guess, at least over and over again in order to accumulate. Now, there are other ways to be a part of the $1 Million Club on YouTube, apart from the video side of things. So you have sponsored videos, so you can make money from that avenue as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I had a sponsored video every single video that I did, but I don't. In fact, I can't remember the last sponsored video that I did, so there you go. And I'm not sure, I don't know if you can, but I can't. So they're not that often, right, for me. So I don't have an income coming in that way. So that avenue is pretty much non-existent mostly. And then you get other offers like brand deals and things like that, where you're either doing a meet and greet or you're a part of the brand for this event or whatever it is. Now, I don't do those either. Now, I've only ever had one, and that was with Urban Decay, and it was amazing. I enjoyed the whole experience. It was so good. But I've only ever done it once for one single brand once. So I don't have that avenue of income either. And I think people think that you are earning so much money from videos and so much money from brands and so much, and that may be the case for some people, but it isn't for me. It just isn't. And I responded to that comment, not in detail like I am with you, but I responded by asking her what her job was and how many houses she's bought for her parents or family members. Now, she didn't respond to that. She just responded unpleasantly again with a different comment on the same lines. Now, I would love to buy my mum a house, but I don't have the money to buy it. I have the brush line, and that's amazing. But the way the brush line works is I pay for everything, so it's all mine. So I get an order and I have to pay for it. They take about 6 months to make the brushes because they're handmade. So I'm out of pocket for all of that time. Then they go and get sold. Then I start to get paid, but I'm paid in installments. So by the time I've got the lump sum back, I then have to repurchase again. So it's always a catching up game. And then I'm taking any profit and saving it because we've got the makeup coming soon. And that again is paid for by me. So I've already paid for 50% of all that makeup. The other 50% will come when they ship. And I needed a loan for that. There is no money to buy anybody a house. And that's the thing that upset me the most, is the assumption that that's what I should do. I shouldn't be spending money on my job, but I have to work. This is my job. This is a job. I have a day job and I have a business, and all of it requires time and money, and it's all coming out of from me. No one is funding anything for me. And I would love to buy my mum a house. I will buy my mum a house. I don't know when it's going to be, but I hope it will be really soon. But I can't do it right now because I don't have the cash available to do it. It is that simple. And it just, of all the comments I've ever received, it was the most offensive. And I mentioned this in a previous video where I was talking about people that take. And not a lot of people, actually, almost everyone got that video. There was a minority that were like, what about me? Well, I wasn't speaking about you. I was speaking about people who choose to never work. There's nothing wrong with them. They're able-bodied, no mental health. They just choose not to work. And you're dealing with giving money here and giving money there and paying for this and paying for that, as well as trying to run your own life as well. It is exhausting and there is no money. So I want to buy my mum a house, but I can't. And I posted this on Instagram and I took it off for two reasons. One, my number plate was partly showing, which was an issue. It isn't an issue because it doesn't really matter, but it was. And the second bit was because I didn't want to share that, but I'm going to quickly with you. Now, my mum always said that if she ever got rich, she'd buy a Mini. And she wanted a Mini with a reversing camera. She never got rich. She never did. She doesn't struggle anymore. So that is great. I'm able to at least do something. She doesn't struggle anymore, but she never got rich. She couldn't buy a Mini. She has problems with her feet. So driving a manual was no longer going to be an option. And I remembered what she said about the Mini. So I bought her a Mini. I could do that. I could buy her a Mini. That I could do. I can't buy her a house because I don't have the money to buy the house, but I could buy her a car. Is that good enough to be a good son? I have no idea. I do my best. I do my best every day, trying to balance everything that needs balancing and giving here and giving there and trying to run a business and trying to run my life. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's going to have to be for the time being because there ain't no money left. It is just everywhere but where I want it, which is in my bank. And one day I will buy my mum a house. And I hope it's one day soon. But I'm not part of the $1 Million YouTube club or sponsorship club or deal club or any club whatsoever. And I've talked to you about the brushes and how much they cost before to make. And the final figure that I mentioned as well, again, when I said it then, that's before shipping and tax and duties and imports. You know, of all the comments I've ever received, it was the most hurtful one and was designed to hurt. Instead of posing a question, which would have been, how is it going buying your mum a house? That is a valid question. And I could have then said, it ain't going too good at the moment, but I am hoping that it will be good and I will do it, but I can't do it now. Instead, it was mean-spirited and designed to make me hurt. And congratulations, it did. You hurt my feelings. Wonderful. So there you go. That is the story of why I am not part of the $1 Million YouTube club. But my mum now drives a Mini and she loves it. And that makes me super happy that I could at least do that. I can't buy the house or cure world hunger, but I could buy her that. And she doesn't struggle anymore. That's the best I can do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.